What's going on, my nerds and collectors alike? We are back at it again, continuing the Captain America Build-A-Figure Wave Disney Plus series Falcon and the Winter Soldier Baron Zemo. So here's looking at him. We do get a golden space gun, which is annoying, but we'll talk about that later. Looks like we get the Winter Soldier book. We get a nice portrait of Daniel Bruhl there, and we also get the Zemo mask. Looks like we're getting a couple extra hands. There's the final piece to the Build-A-Wing. Here we've got the Falcon and the Winter Soldier logo, the Disney Plus blip, Baron Zemo, Hasbro. On the side of the box here, you get Baron Zemo, all dressed in purple. On the top of the box, nothing. On the side of the box, same image. On the bottom here, you've got your barcodes, legalese, unreadables, warnings, all that fun stuff. Don't put it in your mouth. Warning, small parts. And as you can see here, he is a part of the Build-A-Wing wave, and the figures you'll need to collect the Build-A-Wing are Scarlet Witch, the Vision, Loki, the Winter Soldier, US Agent, Baron Zemo, and Captain America himself. On the back here, we have an upscaled image of Baron Zemo, and the bio reads, Baron Zemo, the Sokovian Special Forces officer who targeted the Avengers, has been rotting in a German prison, but recent events will reignite him with a ferocity. So let's go ahead and get Zemo cracked open and see what he's about. Alright, so here we have Baron Zemo out of the packaging. And as you can see, I have a couple of his alternate accessories on here. I did go ahead and give him a different sidearm, just because I like realistic guns, not space guns. Thanks, Hasbro. Go ahead and take that out of his hand for the time being. You can see here that he has his iconic comic-esque mask on, which looks very cool. I'm glad that they added that to the series. That was a very nice touch. And he's got his very fancy coat, which if we could all pull off this kind of coat, I'm pretty sure we would all try to. We've got his gloves picked out here with some paint on them to highlight the texture. You've got the fur around his collar here, and it looks like there actually is a light dry brush of a brownish color over top of the white. I'm not sure how well the camera's picking that up, but while I'm sitting here looking at it, there's a dry brush of a slightly different color on there, like a light brown. There you go. You can see it there a little bit. So he's got some dry brushing on the coat, which is a very nice detail. You've got his fancy belt here, picked out in silver. You actually also have the buckles on his shoes, picked out in silver, which is very nice. I'm glad to see Hasbro picking out a couple of details like that. But going ahead and getting into articulation with his mask on, you can actually see the joint on there, so that's interesting. But he looks up that far. He looks down very far. He can bury his chin, which is always nice. And because this is on a dumbbell, you do get tilt. So that's always good. And of course, swivel around. Get him in some nice menacing looks there. His arms rotate 360. They do touch the collar ever so slightly, but it's not a problem. They do only go up this far, though. So that is a little bit of a bummer, but it's Baron Zemo. He's more of a background planner anyway, so that's alright. He has a bicep swivel, double-jointed elbows with the pinless technology that bend all the way. All but one of his hands do have an in and out hinge and a swivel. Thankfully, the trigger finger hand does have a hinge that is up and down, so that's always nice to see. He crunches forward that far. He does not crunch back very much due to the coat. There is a waist swivel. Baron Zemo can kick forward 90 degrees. Does not kick back very far at all. He has a thigh swivel. Being as these are reused Coulson body legs, you can see the pins on his double jointed knees, but they still articulate just fine. The ankle is stopped, that is as high as it goes to keep its balance. Luckily on my figure, it does go up slightly farther so he can stand. He goes down that far, and of course he has ankle pivot. Getting into his accessories here, so we have his alternate hands. He has a fist for the right side, which is just a mirror of the left. And we also have a pointing finger hand, which I was wrong. There are two hands that have the up and down hinge. His pointer finger also has the up and down hinge there. And he comes with, oh boy, a golden space gun, which I really, really wish Hasbro would stop giving us these with MCU figures, because they use real guns. He comes with the Winter Soldier book, which is nice and weathered looking. And he can hold it fairly well in his hand, just because his hands are kind of soft, so he can hold that without an issue. And last but not least, he also comes with a Daniel Bruhl head, which looks fantastic. Funny enough, his hair even actually has some purple dry brushing in it. So that's actually pretty cool to see. And here you have Baron Zemo standing up here. Let's go ahead and get into some comparisons. First up, because they were both in Civil War, here is Zemo next to Crossbones, which is pretty funny to me because Crossbones is fairly small looking compared to other figures, at least in height. He looks to be a fairly short guy compared to the other MCU characters. Here is Baron Zemo next to Captain America. And see, that's what I'm talking about with those feet. You kind of gotta push forward a little bit. So there's Baron Zemo with Captain America, as well as Bucky. Here's Baron Zemo next to Taskmaster. Here is Baron Zemo next to the Falcon. And here's Baron Zemo next to Io, which is obviously the Dora Milaje that took him in and brought him back to the raft. So getting those out of the way, I think Baron Zemo was pulled off very well for his MCU counterpart. The figure is fantastic. Articulation is a little bit hindered, but it works for what Zemo was. The accessories, for the most part, that he comes with are just great. He comes with pretty much everything that you would need with a Baron Zemo. The Mind Control book, the alternate hands, he gets his Zemo mask and all that fun stuff. So I definitely think he was worth the purchase. And before I sign off here, I just want it to be known that this channel and all of its content are not for ages 13 years or younger. This channel is not for minors. I always have to stress the YouTube guideline. Stay safe, everybody. Happy collecting.